Welcome to Redvee TV, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the aborted 2020 season. As we just have another chat online. Kev, have you been sat there all week?
Pretty much. I've just changed my shirts. I had a different colour one on, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'll be sat here all week waiting for you.
Okay. All right. Some of the other questions that have come in then. Mike Foster, can we come up with the greatest ever 17 that we've seen play for Saints? Fullback.
Well, let's just make something clear. I started watching Saints in March 1990. So when people start saying Mal Meninga, I'm just not old enough for that. So fullback, Paul Wellington's for me. Paul Wellington's for me at fullback.
Yeah, don't think there's a choice to make there. I'm going from 1997 onwards. Glory Hunter fan.
Yeah. Well, you have to have something.
As you'll see later.
Yeah. You have to have something being an Everton fan, don't you?
Yeah. Okay, Paul Wellington, fullback. Wingers? Future choose from?
Yeah, there are a few, and there's arguments to be made for quite a few. One who I haven't gone for is Darren Albert. I've actually picked, and it's probably just because you remember him a little bit more, for one, Tommy Makinson. I just think as a modern day winger, he's got everything. He's almost like another second rower because he's strong. He can play a couple of positions, but obviously he is a winger for me. He's not a fullback, not a centre. He's quick, powerful, can finish. I just say, well, he's won the Golden Boot as well, hasn't he? So
has the game changed then? Because I don't remember Darren Albert doing any of that work.
Yes, yeah, I think it has. I've been watching the highlights of Danny Arnold, the 96 Challenge Cup, and yeah, with his nods and his kisses to camera. And his hat-trick against Wigan. You don't, as you say, you don't go back on the likes of Danny Arnold and think he was taking 2 carries a set and bringing the ball out. The game has changed. In fact, on the other side, you're probably going for one of the classier wingers. I've got Anthony Sullivan.
I don't want to leave Darren Albert out because I loved watching him.
Same.
That speed was unreal. But then you can't leave Tommy Mack out. And you're probably right. Albert probably doesn't get in over Sullivan.
That's it. I mean, it sounds... you're kind of led sometimes by video rather than your own memory. And you look back and stuff like the game at the DW when Tommy Martin broke from under the sticks and handed it on to Sullivan, and he weaved in and out, came to a virtual stop, and then went into the corner, had the ball in the wrong hand for me.
That's right, Kev. It's like he tried to keep running as much as he could and make rings on the pitch.
Yeah,
it was. Okay, we'll have Sully in then.
Yeah, Sully for me.
All right, his centres then. Straight away.
Yeah, he's easiest choice, I think, of anybody. Jamie Lyon, and for me, Paul Newlove. Again, it's around the time that, again, you're looking back at videos rather than trusting your own memories as a, 15, 16-year-old. But Paul Newlove, him and Sullivan on that side just worked brilliantly. There's a reason that we paid so much money and swapped 3 players over to Bradford for him, because he was a class act.
Isn't it scary that you take Lyon and Newlove as your centres, and you've got no room for Matt Gidley, Mark Percival, Willie Tillau. Tillau used to get a bad press, didn't he?
Yeah.
What was a ball hog?
Yeah, and another one, like you go to Scott Gibbs as well, who came up and was tremendous. But yeah, that's it. When thinking, Lyon was one of the first names that I wrote down. And Newlove, everybody loved Newlove.
I love Newlove.
Yeah. You're only true love.
There's a song there somewhere.
It is.
All right. So you got your fullback, your wingers, your centres, your 6 and 7.
Again, so many choices here. One of my favourite ever Saints players is Tommy Martin. Tommy Martin goes in at 6 for me. Leon Price is unlucky to miss out there, because I think he was magnificent for us. He was almost like the missing piece of the jigsaw. He was another one who was strong and would take runs in. He could do everything. But Tommy Martin at 6. And this one was actually tougher than I thought for 7. I've gone Sean Long. It sounds a bit obvious, but again, watching back and having the time to watch videos back, Bobby Goulding was an absolute master at unlocking defences. Just when people weren't as rigid, and Sean Long was possibly one of the last players who didn't have kind of the rigidity of modern play in front of him. He'd do what he wanted. Him and Martin alike. So Bobby Goulding, listen, he'd be close.
For me, yeah, it's Tommy Martin and Long. I think for Sean Long could come into this team now and still play. And you're right, he probably bridges old school, but the new era of maybe scrum halves. And Sean Long on his day was unplayable. In the big games, Sean Long was an absolute master. And it was his big game moments as well. The drop goals he scored and the big game kicks. And I think that's why you get Sean Long in. And Sean Long should kick it in this team, I think.
Yeah, probably so, to be fair.
Right, props.
I'm going for another one of the 96 classic, Apollo Perolini in the 8 shirt. And then it was between David Furley and James Graham to start. And I can't not have James Graham starting.
Luke Thompson?
Not for me, not at the minute, no. Listen, if you were naming a 21 or a 19-man squad, he would be in there. But at the minute, I just think Perolini and Graham.
Are you basing James Graham on his career or what he did in the Saints shirt?
Well, I think he was a proper leader in a Saints shirt. I mean, he was a mid-joint captain in his last season with us. And I do think he was a proper leader. He still did the big minutes for us as well. So basing it on his Saints career.
Are we naming two subs though, two sub props? I'd go with Fairley. The influence Dave Fairley had on the squad when he came over was unreal. If you're looking for bench props, then what are you going for?
We'll come to them when I do my subs.
Oh, all right. You didn't tell me we were actually going to do something here. Okay, then. Right, number 9.
Well, it's straight is 17. How many players do you think go on?
I didn't read the question. Okay, no, right, brilliant. Number
9. Kieran Cunningham to start. Kieran Cunningham. He's just one of the greats. You can't get past that. He's just one of the greats.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not even going to argue with it on that one now. But we'll have somebody coming off the bench.
Oh, yeah. First name on the bench, to be honest.
Second rowers?
This was a tough one, to be fair. One of them wasn't, because one of them's my captain, and it's Chris Joynt. That was, again, one of the easier picks. The other one, second row, I've gone for Lee Gilmore. I just think he got about his work very, very well. Him and McManus has said that they shouldn't have let him go when they did. I still think he had another good couple of years in him. I just think he was a great signing for us. And as I say, he got about his work very well, and he won me a couple of bob, first try scorer.
Are we naming the loose forward position Paul Sculthorpe's?
Yeah, I don't think there's any argument there, is
there? No. So we'll just carry on. Okay. Yeah. Subs then, right? Subs. I'll tell you what I'd be going for.
Okay.
Luke Thompson.
Okay.
James Roby as your interchange hooker for Cunningham, because I think they work perfectly together. Ooh, we need another prop.
Well, if you named David Furley in your... What did you name him in your starting lineup?
Yeah, so all right. Apollo on the bench then.
Okay, so you started with James Graham, did you?
If we agreed on it.
Yeah, okay.
And there's probably one other spot, and I'll probably forget a myriad of players here.
Right, I'm going to write the 4 that I've written down. Don't necessarily say 2 props, a hooker, and 1 other, because it's the best 17 I've seen. So I've got James Roby, I've got Davy Foley, I've got Sia Soliola, and then I've got a bench spot that I can't quite decide. And one of them is a back, and it's Ben Barber, because he brought the most explosive play I've seen since Jamie Lyon coming over from an Aussie. But the other one, and people will turn around and scoff at this, is John Wilkin. And that's because John Wilkin, when he didn't have to go, prior to his season playing at scrum half, his running at second row, his work ethic, the angles that he'd run, the lines that he'd run, were tremendous. So,
I'm shocked that John Wilkin hasn't got his own wall. I think that's got to come sooner rather than later. And you know what?
Probably will.
Unfortunately, Saints fans have got a tendency to want to scapegoat people, and they always scapegoat the wrong people for me. But yeah, John Wilkin, proper legend of the club. I can't believe I've not. Ben Barber wasn't even in my mind. That's scary.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
I mean, in the comments in this video, Kev, there's probably going to be
a load of players. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that's it. We welcome them. Gives us something else to talk about, doesn't it?
We're going to have to go for a second string.
Yeah.
Right.
We probably.
Okay. This team, Kev, they need a stadium to play in.
Okay.
Knowsley Road or the Totally Wicked?
It's all sentimental, Knowsley Road.
It is.
This day and age, listen, if you want one big hurrah, you want one big atmosphere, you need it. You're playing Wigan and you need to win the game to win the league, or I don't know, get to the final. Knowsley Road every time. This day and age, unfortunately, is it, Andrew? I keep saying, is it fit for purpose? The last game we were at was Weldon Road. Of course it was.
Okay. And they need 2 kits to play in. What would your home kit be?
Oh.
Your 96 home kit?
No. You know what? And it might be a bit controversial. I've never really liked the 96 one because of the red hoops down in the bottom half of it. It was all a little bit too Wiggany for me, and I can't unsee that. If we're going home shirts,
I know what I want to go with.
I would probably go with something like the late 80s with the St. Helens glass across the front of it.
If we were going for Super League era, I'd go for the Y2K home kit. The blue St. Helens glass front. Purely because it was the naffest made kit that we could possibly go for. Yeah. It looked like somebody had made it in the nan's bedroom. It was quintessential St. Helens.
Yeah.
And it brought proper Redvee on the shirt. So that's where I go for. But yeah, 80s kits. Away kit then.
Is that your choice? It's a
100%.
beauty, to be fair. Yeah.
Every single day of the week, classic. My favourite shirt of all time.
I quite like the black Earth Money shirt. Was it 2006ish? That was a good shirt. Yeah, that was a shirt. And I'll probably go for what I've seen in. Mind you, no. My favourite away shirt is actually the McEwen's Lager, white with a blue V, but it had little bits of black and McEwen's across the front of it in red. That's my favourite away shirt. With a strong mention to the all sports sky and navy blue Meninga era style one. But I'll go with me white with a blue V.
Okay. Coach. And then we're done for this video.
Just for sheer flair and still giving kids a go in Millwood.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I like Everly Hanley.
Actually, you know what? That's the wrong
Just
answer.
The nastiness.
Yeah, the wrong. I've just given you the wrong answer. The right answer is Justin Holbrook.
Yeah, right
They
answer.
connect with they connect with it. If we're taking him out of it though, I'd go Millwood just because he entertained. But Justin Holbrook had the connect of the town, right? The team were playing good rugby. They were always honest about the work, and you can't argue. I don't think you can argue with that.
Daniel Anderson. Or was Daniel Anderson blessed with the squad he had?
Possibly, yeah. The one it's a criticism that you turn around and you think you can't remember any of the kids that Anderson kind of brought through and into the first team, and that might be just a victim of circumstance that there wasn't anybody who was coming through who was good enough.
How long had Jammer been in the team? A year, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because he was Millwood, because he was on the bench when we robbed Warrington at Warrington with that Kieran Cunningham try. But listen, he was a great, but I still enjoyed the rugby under Millwood, but Holbrook's the right answer there.
Okay, right. If you don't agree with us, which no doubt that most of you probably won't, let us know in the comments below in this video what your 17 would be, what you don't agree with, what you disagree with. Cheers for joining us, Kev, and we'll answer some more questions on another video later. Catch you soon.